I'm like dying if you can't tell. Hello. How was everyone's weekend? Last night I hang out with people. Okay, like that sounds so actually really lame, but for me it's nice. This is so typical of me. I was about to go to dinner by myself, right? And like walking across campus because I live on the other side of the freaking. My hair is a mess. Hello. Um, as I live on the other side of the earth, right? And I happen to pass these two girls, and they're like, "Hey," from of course the group. Whatever, I'll take it. I'll take friends. I don't care. And they're like, "Hey, we're like meeting like my Coxon's big sister, who's also Cox. She's very cool. Like, you should come. Like, where are you going?" I'm like, "Well, I was gonna go to like this one dining hall." I have a cough drop in my mouth. You can't tell. That's why. Yeah. And so I went with them, and like I hung out with these like I think they're sophomores or maybe juniors. And they live on like the third floor, and you go like the fire escape to get there, and it was really cool. Their common room is so nice, and they're like very cool, and they were nice, and it was good. And then like more people came in because they got an email with the lineups, and people started freaking out and stuff. And then like I went back with them and like hung out in their room with people, and like I drank some coconut water because apparently that keeps you hydrated, and I don't really know who knew. And then, I went to dinner with me because they're really nice. And I had cereal and frozen yogurt because frozen yogurt's delicious. It's so good. It's so good. My eyebrows. Okay. Okay. Well, and we talked about like our first impressions of each other, which was kind of funny. As one girl, like she gave off this vibe of being really like mad straight edge, like hardcore straight edge, but she's really not. Like, she likes whiskey and she likes a good time, but she's like super into crew and stuff. So like there's that. And like the coxswain said, because like I'm painfully shy, guys. I'm pretty sure everyone's aware of that, right? Yeah, like my social phobia, like the anxiety that I have for people is just like over. That's way too much, right? Way too much. So there's that. And God, like this line is like ridiculous. Yeah, and she said, like our coxswain said, she's like, because I come across as really unapproachable. Like, I've always been told that, and like I get it, whatever. And am I always wearing a white V-neck in these videos? I feel like I am. And she's like, no, like you come across so warm and friendly, and I'm like, excuse me, like what? She's like, no, like you remind me so much of my nanny, and she basically raised me, and she's like my favorite person ever. And I'm like, thanks, like what? And she's like, no, like you're one of the nicest people I've ever met. And I'm like, they're just so nice. And I was like, what? I kind of have friends? What? And we had a good time. It was fun. And then I went back with them because they like live next to each other. So like I hung out in their dorm for a bit, and talking about going to 80s, and I don't even know what we did. Like, we just kind of chilled. And then I ran back to my room and got dressed for the 80s dance. I looked pretty cool. I was pretty thrilled with what I ended up wearing. It's like, it's the most obnoxious shirt, and I finally got to wear it. Like, I'm so hiccups, excuse me. I'm so glad I finally got to wear it. Like, it makes me really happy. Oh my god, my hair. It's like really hot in here now. And I just like dusted my fan, and it like, okay, and it got like, okay, there's like a random noise outside. I just dusted my fan. Yeah, so 80 stands, that was really cool. It's cold out, like, obviously. And I'm like walking across in my like deeply cut tank top, like for geezing. And like I passed somebody else I knew. And she's like, hey, are you going to the 80s dance? I'm like, yeah, I am. And she's like, oh, right now? And I'm like, no, like, let's start for now. Like, we're not going to go at time. And I'm like, but I'm hanging out with people before, and like, there's no point in walking back. She's like, oh, okay, have fun. She's so sweet. Like, I see her all the time. And then, gonna crunch that now. Okay. I'm gonna continue. Yeah, so then we all got dressed, and that was fun because I like did my makeup, and my roommate was, of course, getting math help with her math homework. Unattractive angle. What's up? Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, your makeup looks nice." I'm like, "Thank you." Okay, I don't think I've worn makeup in like 3 weeks because I tried like the first couple weeks of school. Like I was like, "Oh, good impression," and then it's like, I'm dead and I have so much work to do. Like I can't even do it. Yeah, okay, that's as weird as I thought it was. So then we like hung out with like cool girls and like roommates, and it was like fun. And we took pictures. Like, I don't know where they are, but we took them. Yay! And then we went, but it was like way early, and these creepy guys tried to like, because you need your ID to get in, or you need to be someone's guest. So these creepy guys are like, "Hey, do you guys go here?" And we're like, "What? Why?" And they're like, would you mind like taking us in, like letting us in, like with your ID?" We're like, "Fuck no!" Like, hello, we don't know you. Like, absolutely not. So that's that, and people were of course pre-gaming and stuff, and I was sober. At this point in time, I was sober. Awkward. And we got to the 80 stands, and it was lame. Like, we were the only 15 people there. So we got our glow stick. Yeah, we got our glow sticks. And then we proceeded to the crew frat because I don't really know why, but we did. And I'd never been there before. And then, like, we get there, and it's, like, fun, and yeah. Like, the crew, they're just really attractive. They're just really attractive. According to some varsity girls, though, they're not great people. But they're so attractive. Yeah. And then, like, we hung out outside briefly, and they're, like, doing something to drink. Like, you have to go, like, to the, like, the 3rd floor, and they're, like, really, really narrow staircases. Crazy stuff. And then I ended up having something to drink, because these things happen. And, yeah. And there were a few of the, like, the novice guys, but there were only like 2. The one who, like, freestyles, and this blonde kid who's always fucking late to the bus. Yeah, so there were them, and then, like, we kind of hung out for a while, and we, like, danced a bit, and then it was fun. Like, we rocked out to, like, Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA. Like, that was a fun time. Like, it's I wish I'd been there before. And then we went back to the 80s dance, and it was, like, really cool. Like, it was a fun time. But you can't grind to 80s music. Like, you just can't. And, like, dancing to it is kind of difficult, because it's not really, like, fast enough to, like, move. So I'm just, like, doing my thing. I'm like, oh, break it. I mean, not actually, like, well, kind of like that, but not, like, always like that. Yeah, this video is gonna be really long. Sorry, I'm uploading things to YouTube because, like, Tumblr, like, won't do it, and then it's, like, unable to load web page. I'm like, you suck. So there's that. And then I went to bed at 12:40. Like, I had to leave. I'm like, I have a race. I'm like, please. And it was colossally stressful. Like, so stressful. And so we, like, bucket up the course. Like, we can't, there's so much traffic. People are driving through, and we have, like, boats on our shoulder. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm dead. I have so much work today. Yeah. So once we got in the water, that was stressful. And so we're, like, booking it upstream to, like, the starting line or whatever. Because you race down to the finish line, and then you take your boats back. Which, like, made sense in my head, but I didn't really think about. Yep. And then... Okay. And then, like, we're booking it up there, and we're like, I haven't seen a boat in forever. And then we pass, like, the small boats with 4 rowers. And we're like, oh, no, we have to keep going. Cool. All right, so we keep going. I haven't seen a boat in forever. And we're like, did we miss our race? Like, did we really just miss our race? And we get there, and it's, like, the guys' aides. And we're like, oh, hey, what's up? And then we, like, were there for, like, an hour and a half, just, like, sitting there. And, like, we knocked boats and, like, knocked numbers off, and, like, it was ridiculous. And it was just so stressful because, like, we thought we were late the whole time. Like, I feel like I pulled harder on the way up than I did in the race, which is not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. And then once it got to our race, it took forever, like, so long. We were just, like, chilling up there. Yeah, that just happened. And then when we raced, like, we're getting to the start, they're like, our boat, like, your crew, like, come up, whatever. And, we get, like, to the one buoy, and they're like, start. I'm like, what? And they're like, go. And we're like, fuck, like right now? Like there was no lead up or anything, which was just really stressful. And we ended up going like off the course because there were like the start buoys, and then there weren't buoys that you had to stay like on the. I think you had to stay on the port side of them, or maybe starboard of them. They were going to be on the port side. They were on my side, you know. But like there weren't buoys to start with, so we're like off the course, and like all these boats behind us. So then we had to come back. We could have done so much better in the race, like so much better if we had stayed on course. But like the waves were like crashing, like we struck on so much water. It was ridiculous, freaking ridiculous. Like we were like drowning in our boat. I mean, like I say that like it's not funny, but like an 8 actually like flipped. It wasn't us though. It wasn't us. But and then my oar came out of its oar lock, which is like what you like. It's the fulcrum of the the lever of the oar. So you're like leaning into that. That's where you get like your power from the fulcrum or whatever. And it came out of the oar lock. Like what in the middle of the fucking race? So I have to like get it back together, and I'm like, guys, I'm really sorry. Like I can't do it. And I'm like sitting there like trying to like. It was awful. So then like my parent, like the girl behind me and I, like we couldn't row because like if she rowed then it would like fuck up the boat. So we lost time because of that, and ended up going off course, and somebody caught it. It was awful. And then like once we got on course, they're like, oh, there's the bridge, which meant we were almost there. This is a really long video. I apologize if anyone's actually watching this, but just pretend it's like a phone call with just me talking. Yay, I hate my voice, so that'd be really awkward. Yeah, and then like the doctor there, and it was great because there are people, and you're like, yep, keep your form really good, like look good. Maybe people are watching and taking pictures and stuff. And apparently we ended up looking really good. Like we did actually surprisingly well, like rowing together. Like we did okay. And we got 3rd out of 4th, which was like, we didn't lose entirely. Like, yay. It was exciting. I was pumped about that. I was pumped. And then like the current and the wind were just too strong, so the smaller boats like couldn't go, like they couldn't even race. Like we passed like our men's 4, and they had to roll all the way down because they couldn't race, which just like blows because they had to go through the whole stress thing of the entire day. Excuse me. I'm getting close to the end of this video. Although talking for like 13 minutes already is like I feel so much better. I have so much reading, it's kind of ridiculous because I haven't had time to do work because I had practice yesterday and I had a race today. When was I supposed to do? And I had practice on Friday. Like, please. That felt really good. Okay. Fuck my life. I'm so sick. And then like the parents had a nice little like barbecue set up and like lunch, which was cute. We also had breakfast on the bus. That was good. Like my bagel. It was very good. It was yummy. It was blueberry. Blueberry bagels are my favorite. They don't have them in the dining hall here, and it makes me really sad. They did like the first week, and now they like don't have them. At any rate, so we hung out, but there wasn't really much for me to eat. Cause they had like sandwiches with stuff, and then like non-vegetarian chili. Awesome. So I had like cookies, and it's just like awful. They're like, oh look, we brought more desserts, and I guess it's because parents feel like that they can make desserts and just bring them or whatever, which makes sense. It's easier than being like, I'm gonna go make chili. Like, no. And then like we ended up leaving 2 hours late because like the whole race started so late and whatnot. So that happened. And then I really need to go sit at my desk again, but like I have to figure out my printer situation. That's why I'm like on my bed. So that's that. I have like 30 seconds. Yeah, so then I came back, showered, like 2 hours later. So like 2:30, came back, took a shower, napped. I meant to nap from 3:30 to 5, but I woke up at 5:30, and apparently I turned my alarm off in my sleep, and I was like, I'll go back to sleep till 6. I'm like, no, I have to get up and eat. So then I was sitting by myself, and somebody came and sat with me that I'm friends with, and it was lovely, and I've been doing homework and making this video ever since. So I have like 200 pages of reading to do, and a paper to write, and a French thing to do, so goodbye everyone. This has been sufficiently awkward, so